Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was just getting done with part 2 of my first video. So this is the second time I have to record part 2 because I hit 9 minutes and 45 seconds and my computer decided to be rude. So, getting back to the subject of my experience of the Sorrel weed house, I'm going to talk about that a little bit at the end of this video. Miss Matilda Moxley Sorrel was married to Francis Sorrel. And what I was able to find out is that they had 4 children together, 2 daughters and 2 sons, and one of the sons was actually a Confederate in the Army. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to cover all of this without leaving out details. So her full name was Matilda Amita Sorrel Moxley Sorrel. And she was born in 1806, and she had a daughter, Amita Elizabeth Douglas Mocktail, and that was 1833, and she was 17 at the time she had her child, which was fairly common back then. And then in 1829 she had Lucinda Ireland Elliott. She was 23. And then in 1838 she had her son Moxley Sorrel. She was 32. And then she was married sometime before that or after that, I'm not sure. Wait. It said she was 54 when she died, but I don't know. I don't know how true that is. Hi, puppy. I'm sorry, my dog is like, pet me. Don't talk to the people, pet me. She died in 1860. I don't know if that's necessarily right, what age she was. It says 58, Savannah, Georgia, Cheatham County, United States. And she was born, let me scroll back down, it just says the birth of Matilda in 1806. She had 2 daughters and a son, or she may have had 2 more sons. I'm not too sure. So she had 4 children. She had Douglas no. Okay, that's her daughter's name. Okay, I'm sorry guys. It says on here, it says the cause of death was that she plummeted to her death from a 2nd or 3rd story window of her residence. I don't necessarily believe that to be true, and again, all I ask is that you respect my opinion, and I will respect yours. Sorry, my hair's in my way. Now, supposedly, legend has it that she was there were rumors flying around that her husband was having an affair on her, and she thought them not to be true. So the thing back then to do was to have a nice big party and address all the rumors. And she was going to do this. Now, in that time period, she had grown close to this slave named Molly. And she was looking for Molly one night, to help put the finishing touches on the party. And she was calling out for Molly. She was starting to get worried because her slave wasn't there. So she went out to the coach house, which was where the slave quarters were at the time, and supposedly caught her husband cheating on her. Legend had it that she was so distraught that she jumped from a window, and I think this was in November that this had happened, November, December that this had happened. She jumped from a 2nd or 3rd story window of her residence and fell to her death. Her body wasn't, now this is how they told us, her body wasn't found till spring the following year. So I don't know how much truth there is to that. We may never know. Now my experience with the Sorrel weed house was pretty good overall. When you pay for the tour, they'll take you in the house, and you go to the first room to your right, and that was what would have been Francis Sorrel's study or office. And we kept hearing, me, my mom, my grandmother, my aunt were all in this room, and I did a video of this. And we kept hearing a man and woman talking, and we kept hearing people walking back and forth, and you can clearly make out it was a woman and a man walking back and forth because of the heavy boots and the lady shoes. Well, it sounded like heels, and we thought it was somebody who there was a tour going on when we got there, so we thought it was somebody, we thought they took the tour upstairs. So he had just finished up his tour, the tour guide had just finished up his tour, and he came upstairs to get us, and we started touring, and we watched a short clip on If These Walls Could Talk on the Sorrel Weed House. And originally the Sorrel Weed House had been a little shopping mall. There's another building on each side of it. Now he tore those two down and purchased the house and everything, and he tore those down. The lady who owned the shop in the house used to run a little hat shop out of the basement. And if this video gets too long, I'll end it and I'll make a part 3. So he tore all that down. When he had done that, he had found a lot of artifacts original to the house. Now, we had done the tour, and we kept hearing a man and woman whispering, and I did turn to my mom, and I was like, I keep hearing a whisper, I wonder what it is. And she was like, oh, it's just probably the tour guide, trying to spook people out. So I was like, okay. So we didn't put too much thought into it until the end of the tour, and that's going to be in part 3 of the video. So I'm going to end the video, and I'll make part 3.